So week 5 of Brighton Marathon training saw our biggest and best week yet. So in this video we're going to take you through our key midweek session of over and unders. We have some footage of our medium long run which we did, where Dawn gave another try to her Puma DV8 Nitro Elite 3s. We'll briefly recap our performance at the No Walk in the Park 5k race. And we'll take you on our Sunday long run, which one person nailed and one person decided to cut short. Guess which way round that was. So, 10 times, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes float. We're looking for somewhere around 7:30 on the ons and somewhere between 7:50 and 8-minute miling for the off. We're back at Hillsborough Park again. Slightly undulating loop, slight drag up there, and then coming back downhill here. So we'll take that into account when looking at the effort paces rather than the actual paces. But let's see how we get on. On the fourth 3-minute float, we seem to be hitting the paces so far. Can't say I feel super fresh, but we're getting the job done so far, and just count them off one by one. Just coming up halfway to the session on the 5th recovery, 5th float, 15 seconds to go, and then into the second half, which is where we make the gains. Six on, starting to feel it now. Let's dig in, John. Eight's on, psychologically the hardest bit, particularly when you start on the steepest corner. Woo. Ninth's on, come on. Ninth off, we can do this. Let's go for sub 7s for the final on. Let's see what we got. I'm starting at the top end of the park. So I've got to say, all in all, I'm really glad with the way this session went. I think I nailed all the ons and all the offs, and doing it by feel, I'm particularly pleased that that would translate into being able to run a marathon by feel if I could maintain these paces. Who knows if that could happen. So workout done. Pleasing in terms of the pace I ran. I think I was well over marathon effort, a lot of that, but we shall see. But yeah, I had in my mind I wanted to run 8 miles in an hour. That used to be my gold standard when I was quite fit. The standard run was an hour, and if I could run sub 7:30 pace, all was good. Now it's a all-in focus session these days, 20 years on. As I've said before, this marathon training block, the goals are twofold. Firstly, to get me to the finish line of the Brighton Marathon in a competent fashion, but secondly, as an alternative training stimulus to run a faster 10k, and from that 5k time, hopefully this spring. So here's Dawn doing her session. That's her in the light coloured cap, weaving in and out of all those cyclists in New York.
Yes, so I decided that I was going to do my session on the treadmill. So I was doing exactly the same session John had done earlier, but I decided that because I had a little bit of a tight calf, I would take the opportunity to run on a softer surface. Also, running on the treadmill gave me the opportunity to stop if I felt that the calf was pulling more than it should do. As it was, it didn't, and you can see here I'm actually quite enjoying my session. One of the benefits of running on the treadmill is that you can make every single rep absolutely bang on accurate, so there's no variation in pace. This suited me actually on this particular occasion. So my ons were just under 7:30 and my floats were just under 8-minute miling. So personally, I think it's easier to do a session on the treadmill because you're not up against the elements when you're outside.
So due to that calf niggle that Dawn mentioned, Friday was the first time she was able to venture outside for a run, and what a lovely place to run. This is the Transpennine Trail. It's the old Woodhead railway line that used to run from Manchester into Sheffield, or from Sheffield into Manchester if you're going that way, and it really is a privilege to have this on our doorstep. You know, believe it or not, some people say that this particular route is flat and boring. I think that might say more about their mindset than it does about this actual lovely place to run. You get to see it in all seasons, or in winter. I mean, look at that, you get a painted carrot as well. Where else would you see one of those? But yeah, we get to see it in all weathers, all seasons, and there is some wonderful old railway architecture there. Look at that bridge, built in the 1840s, still going strong. Like Dawn. So Saturday saw us travel down to Chesterfield to take on the No Walk in the Park 5k. So this is a race we like to do on a regular basis. We had no great expectations this time, having done the session we just featured a few days beforehand and having run 11 miles in total on the Friday, this being the Saturday. But we were very pleased to end up with, for me, a course best here of 19 minutes and 51 seconds, and for Dawn, a good early season marker of 21 minutes and 47 seconds. We did make a separate video on this, which featured my epic battle with Kenny over the last kilometre and a half. If you've not seen that video, please go and check it out. Sunday, long run day in this household, and on the cards was 20 today, with the Brighton Marathon being a few weeks earlier than most other spring marathons in the UK. What beautiful surroundings back on the TPT. Here's Dawn in her Alpha Fly version 1s. She absolutely loves them, and yeah, everything was set fair. Beautiful day, early spring was in the air, and what's not to like? Well, what's not to like is my legs felt very heavy. I'd really gone all in the day before on the 5k. That coming on top of the session I showed you earlier in this video meant that my legs just weren't in it. If you take any run during the week that I have actually some anxiety about doing, it's the long run. There's always so many things that can go wrong. On this occasion I got all the fueling, all the preparation right, but it just wasn't happening for me today. So we went up the trail as far as we could go to Dunford Bridge, back down the trail. There's me having the time of my life despite the wonderful surroundings, just not enjoying the run at all, not getting anything out of it. So I peeled off at home, let Dawn continue down the trail, went and got my bike, and then accompanied her and supported her for the last bit of her run. And that wraps up week 5 of Brighton Marathon training. So the eagle-eyed monks, you'll notice somebody's just finishing a run and somebody's on a bike. Yeah, over the years, Dawn has always been a much better longer distance specialist than I have, and I've always seemed to be able to hit my sweet spot on races between about 30 and 60 minutes, which used to be 10Ks and 10 milers. I think that is still the case. We've only got now 9 weeks left to the Brighton Marathon. I've done one 18-mile run, a 15 and a couple of 12s. So if I am to do the Brighton Marathon, I need to step it up. But I think I also need to re-examine the mental game here, because long runs, I just dread them the day before. I get anxious about them. However, we slice them if we do them as long run workouts, long easy efforts, with friends, without friends. There's always something seems to come and bite me on the long runs. So as you've seen this week, give me a session to do, I'll nail it. pin a race number on me, you'll get maximum effort and usually a good result. Stick a long run in front of me, a long trail, and up to 3 hours of running or 20 miles. And do you know what? Often I just rather be doing anything else but. So we'll have to see how the next couple of weeks pan out for Brighton Marathon training. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. We hope you've enjoyed the sessions and the review of our week. If you have, please give this video a like. And if you'd like to see how we get on in the forthcoming weeks, then please subscribe to the channel. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.